Hello, everybody. Paul Waller again, President of Christian Sports Medicine Alliance. Thank you for joining us again for another episode of Medicine with a Mission, Faith, Family, and the Profession Zoomcast. Again, we are highlighting a Christian athletic trainer every single day of the month of March for National Athletic Training Month. And this day, today, we are highlighting a good friend of mine who lives right down the street from me here in Mexico, Jon Heydrick. How you doing, Jon?
I'm doing good. Thanks for having me, Paul.
Thank you very much for joining us. Jon, tell us your background, where you're from, what you're doing, the setting you're in, and everything.
Yeah. Background, I was born and raised here in Texas, not far from where I live now, here in Plano, North Dallas area, about 20 minutes north of Dallas. I grew up in the heart of the Bible Belt here with amazing parents, big family. I think I heard you say one time, Paul, raising the pew. Is that right?
Yes.
Is that the term? Yeah, there you go.
Born in the pew.
Born in the pew. There, yeah, definitely that too. I came to a saving faith probably in high school, where I kind of, I'd been hearing my whole life, that all these truths about the gospel and what Jesus did for me on the cross, but my salvation, as it says in Ephesians, right, by grace alone, and has nothing to do with my actions and how good I felt I needed other people to see me, in my pride and my securities, as we talked about recently, moving forward, God brought me through. Gosh, who knows how many different just ways, but just the way the Lord works. God brought me to UT Arlington, is where I got my undergrad back in 2009. Is when I got there. Got my athletic training degree there, and so great program out at UTA. Met a cute little softball player that ended up marrying me, or I guess tricking her into marrying me. Lord's blessed us with a beautiful, opinionated, strong-willed daughter that's about 2.5-ish now. So, just a blessing. And she's, my wife's just incredible and just blesses me every day. But, going back career-wise, right out of college, I took a job working at UT Southwestern here in Dallas, clinic setting. For working for a couple of sports medicine, orthopedic physicians, that at the time, well, they still are, but in a different way. But at the time, they were the team doctors for the Dallas Stars, which led to just a lot of neat opportunities. Early in my career, I met you through actually one of the Dallas Cowboys or NFL independent neurologists, Dr. Bert Vargas, who had done some neat things with. In the Christian community, just kind of, I'd heard your name, I heard of you back in school, when I think you were at Timberview, is that right? In Mansfield? Yeah. Yeah. You were, I had classmates that were, you were their supervisor or preceptor. Yeah. There you go. Yeah. Fast forward a few years, I got married. When I was at UT Southwestern, I was taking some classes to try to go to PA school, had some different career education thoughts of my own. The Lord, God answered prayers. I think, sometimes he does in opposite ways than what we're asking for, because his plans are better than ours. And I ended up actually leaving UT Southwestern, took a part-time job at Dallas Jesuit High School, and finished up some prereqs, and I was on my way, had interviews and things, PA schools, and one thing led to another, just during that transitional time of my life, and not all rose-colored glasses during that time, I'd say, and we can get into that a little later, but ended up getting a call from Scottish Rite for Children, which is where I am now. They were looking for an athletic trainer to kind of build their outreach programs, and it's kind of a different move for me, out of the clinic, out of that life there, which is all I knew really. that, and then a stint at a high school, and to kind of take more of an administrative role and to kind of be where I am now. And so 3 years later, here I am enjoying every minute of it, and I never look back, and just super blessed to be here.
So you're at Scottish right now.
Yep, that's right.
Beautiful, beautiful hospital for anybody that lives in the Metroplex. If you have not been by the hospital here in Frisco, it's just absolutely gorgeous. I mean, I've taken a tour of it, and it's just an amazing facility. There, it's just it's a cool thing. It's a cool thing. I mean, how they really cater specifically to children and in orthopedics and sports medicine. It's really neat. So how have you seen, you've been at Scottish Rite several years. How have you seen God work in your life being at Scottish Rite? Because you work with a very specific, unique population of people.
Yeah.
With their needs are sometimes a lot different than adults. How have you seen your faith worked out in the workplace there at Scottish Rite for Children? Yeah,
no, it's a great question. And I'd probably go back. I mean, I think, the word that always comes to my mind, is just relationships, right? Like, God at his very nature, right, is relational, right? He desires that from us. When he was on earth, he modeled that. I mean, that's relationships is key to growth, especially in spiritual. So that's something I cherish. I enjoy, and it's why I was led to this job where I just get to make relationships with community partners, obviously people within staff and clinic, but community relationships, athletic trainers, and other healthcare providers of the sorts. And so athletic training just allows so much of that opportunity, I think, in all those different areas to develop these relationships and have these and finding opportunities to serve others. And so I think Scottish Rite, what is so neat there is and not to give marketing plugs, but they and Scottish Rite doesn't necessarily maybe hold on to or push or stamp a religion of sorts on or what they believe, but they treat patients regardless of the family's ability to pay, and we get to serve the community and beyond, being nationally recognized. I mean, I think anyway, but just neat situation where we just get to serve the community, and beyond, just in some amazing ways. And I get to work along staff and clinicians and share these or really my same values and beliefs, which is obviously just an ideal situation. So neat to be there. I think another example too, like you mentioned just being around kids. It's funny. I'm such a kid at heart. I think most athletic trainers are, right? I think we all kind of have that. Probably easier to talk to kids than adults, and so switching that on and off can be difficult sometimes. But no, I just enjoy it so much to be able to find people at in healthcare, any level of in your professional healthcare career, you are finding people most times in a low spot, right? Whether their family member, a loved one is injured, or the injury, injured athlete or patient themselves. And so there's just so much opportunity there, right? As and to tie in with what we're called to do as believers, to serve the least of these and those that are in need around us. And that's, we get to do that every day. And what a neat opportunity to kind of easily transition and share that hope that we have in Christ. And so no, I think that's great. One neat opportunity I get to have I've had with my church, or example, I guess, in my career is where faith is allowed to cross over into my career. The church I work with, or I've been going to for a while, is Watermark Community Church in Dallas, and they actually have 2 urgent cares. And so for those that live in Dallas, keep this in mind, one in Dallas and one in Plano, that are free. They have X-ray tech. I mean, it's an urgent care that is free. And so a lot of people are like, well, why are they in Plano? That's, but that's affluent area, but there are needs there too. And we see it every day in Frisco that there's still needs there too. And so neat situation though, where I was able to kind of, obviously anywhere I go, I'm promoting the things athletic trainers can do. And in light of this month we're in, right, it's important. But being able to be there working as kind of a hybrid, a nurse, front desk staff, whatever, helping room patients and take histories, but just meeting, the needs of the community, while not, not only helping physical needs, right, but in ailments, but also looking for ways always to point, to the ultimate healer and the one who changes us from the inside out and heals us from the inside out. So I guess that would be my answer. Long-winded, few example answers to that question.
Well, you said it, and it's been said, like everybody that I've talked to, is that our profession is relationship oriented. I mean, being an athletic trainer is totally based on relationships.
Yeah.
I think sometimes it's being an athletic trainer, which is relationship oriented, and Christianity and belief in Christ and a follower of Christ, which is based on a relationship in Jesus.
Oh yeah, we're teed up. We're teed up perfectly, right? It's just a level of obedience. Really, that's what it comes down to.
Right, exactly. We just got to be obedient to Him, and He gave us. He's given us these specific skills and gifts to care for people in ways that most people can't, and being able to develop a relationship with those kids and with athletes, and you do that. And develop that relationship with them, that trust. It just gives us a good opportunity to either just love on them the way we're supposed to. Mm-hmm. Somewhere down the road, we're have the ability to share the gospel, because that's obviously what, as a Christian athletic trainer, that's my ultimate goal, is not only to care for the kids and the athletes that I deal with on a daily basis, but to develop a relationship where I can at least either share it personally, verbally, or they will see it in me by my actions. Yeah,
and that's huge, and prayer too. That I think is something that gets forgotten a lot of times. But praying for just that God will continue to pursue everyone that we come in contact with, and that those seeds that we plant as we're showing the love of Christ, hopefully, in most of our words and our actions, day to day, day in, day out with our neighbors, which is really what that means, just anyone we come in contact with, right. That those seeds be sown, they're planted and sowed, and that God continue to pursue them. So that's, it's huge.
Absolutely. Well, John, before we close out, the question that I ask everybody, what is that foundation, or what is your life verse and why?
Sure. No, yeah, that's good. I listened to a few of those old podcasts actually this morning, taking my daughter to daycare and coming back. So I did prepare for this, so I can't act like I'm coming off the top of my head. But Galatians 2:20 was a huge one for me, and so it just says, I've been crucified with Christ. It's no longer I who live, but Christ who lives in me. And the life I now live in this body, I live by faith in God, and who loved me and gave Himself for me. So that's me, that's what I try to portray each day, and ask the Lord to do that for all the athletic trainers, especially Christian community athletic trainers that are listening in today, or in the future. So yeah.
Awesome. Well, John, thank you for joining us for this and letting us highlight you and talk to you about what you're doing in the community here in Frisco and in Dallas-Fort Worth, and the Metroplex. I mean, we were just talking online about you're talking to an athletic trainer. Seems to me, you and I, to where we live, he's on the other side of the world, but he's just over in Brewer.
Right.
But a good friend of ours, that was at a school in south of Dallas at one time. But and just your partnership with them, and in partnership with just schools in general, and in partnerships with the community and the partners, and what Scottish Rite is doing, I really appreciate that, and you being there, living out your faith on a daily basis, and working with those kids and being a servant. I appreciate it. Thank you very much.
Yeah, absolutely. And looking forward to next opportunity, obviously, for us to meet in person, or see each other, and hopefully sooner than later. And for those that end up watching this video down the road, just Google what happened in 2020 in America, and you'll figure it out. But this is with your organizations, CSMA, this I look forward to continue to look to partner with you guys, and hopefully maybe one day get on a trip and maybe bring my family along too or something.
Absolutely.
I don't know. I look forward to all the things you guys are doing, and I appreciate you putting this stuff together and inviting me to chat with you.
Yeah, absolutely. And if you're interested in if you want more information about Christian Sports Medicine Alliance and learning more about what we do, learning about our mission of making God known in our profession and through our profession by educating, equipping, and serving, go to our website at christiansportsmed.org. If you want to follow us on Twitter, you can do that at tweetcsma. If you are a Christian athletic trainer, or a Christian athletic trainer that needs a place or wants a place or is looking for a place where they can go and do life and just kind of share what God is doing in their life, whether it be a scripture verse or a devotional or a prayer request or whatever. And they're on Facebook. Go to Beyond the ATR, which is a specific Facebook group specifically for Christian athletic trainers. We have well over 2,000 people on there that join us on a daily basis. And we look forward to having you there. But again, until we see each other again in person, and hopefully partnering together and down the road, maybe on a mission project. Jon, again, I thank you very much.
Yeah, absolutely. Thanks for having me, Paul.
You too. Bye.